Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest series in the Impact series hosted by 4Zero. In this latest series, we are talking and interviewing people like Torsten, who have recently made a move and changed careers and joined the GreenTech and the climate tech space. So Torsten, look, thanks for jumping on with me today.
Welcome. Thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be here and also be kind of speaking about my experience here. Yeah. Looking forward for that.
We've known each other quite well now because we've been working together for I think it's over 6 months. I had the pleasure of placing you as a product owner to a great green tech company called Instagrid in Germany. But obviously people are probably not going to be familiar with you, Torsten. So look, could you just start by giving us a little bit of an intro about yourself, what it is you do, sort of industries you've been working in, how long you've been doing it for?
Yeah, sure. So in a nutshell, I was working 15 years with tool companies, power tool elements, hand tools element in that areas on 2 continents. It was in different positions. So I worked for 9 years in different marketing positions, taking care of Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and later for the emerging market group. Then 3 years in product management in different position, managing it from Dubai, living there for 4 years and doing a product management and sales job over there. And then having also 2 years of sales experience. So holistic picture about, I would say, product commercials, working with different cultures, working with different stakeholders, defining target groups, being the voice of the customer, of the user in town, and doing the business analytics, as well as doing 5 years of leadership, building up teams and developing teams. Yeah. That was my time in 2 big corporations before I joined Instagrid.
Yeah. So but we're talking big corporations, right? These are huge international companies that you're part of.
Exactly. 2 big global players from the US, which have several brands, which are placed very established brands in the professional segment as well as the DIY segment. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So look, I reached out to you and I'd approached you at this great, fantastic company called Instagrid, doing great things in the green tech, climate tech space. But yeah, what really motivated you to kind of want to make that change and move into the green tech, into the climate tech space?
Yeah. I'm already sorry if I take it a little bit far, but I think I need to justify the environment and the personal motivation a little bit. And I have 2 big impacts here, which make me look for companies like Instagrid and find this kind of solution. The first thing is a big topic today, work-life balance. But for me, it doesn't only mean time at work, time in your private life. It also means that what you do from the morning waking up until you go to sleep needs to have purpose. Yeah. And the next job really needs to reflect the person I am, the ideas I have. It needs to be the key driver, and the attitude that makes me being me needs to be reflected in the job I'm doing. That's the first big impact. The second one on a private matter is basically looking at 2 drastic changes in my life. I experienced 2016 meeting my wife, who dedicated her life really to helping people, building a career in sustainability and corporate social responsibility and living what she's doing. So that was a big impact in my private life. And then also 2021, when my son was born, and I really want to hand over a planet which is worth living in, and he doesn't need a plan B to escape to other planets. So in that sense, my next career step, my next job, which I luckily found with you guys, need to have impact. It needs to create impact as a company and me as a person together. That was the main aim.
Yeah, and I can, I suppose vouch for that. I think in our first conversation we had, Torsten, is that that really shone through for me, is that because of the journey you've been on with your wife and your child, that I suppose it wasn't just a desire to want to work with purpose and want to do the right thing. It was a need from your perspective. You needed to kind of for your self-fulfillment to be working on products and working in initiatives that have a real impact. I think we share, we're both fathers, which we talk about a lot, but that's kind of the driving force for me is, what planet are we going to be leaving for our children if we don't make these changes now? And that's, that's really the driver behind 4.0 as well. So, I know we share a lot of the same values in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. So like from the first discussion we had, finally, when we made it in front of cameras, there was directly the sympathy and the connection where we say like, okay, that makes sense. And yeah, that's also the reason why I like 4.0. So going to that topic, I think we switch now a little bit, because what I really appreciate about you guys is the discussion you had with me. Like the first point, if I need to nail it down, I would say it's the approach you guys do. So I never forget your first sentences, which was like, would you like to use your product superpowers for good and to change the world? So in that sense, that was already one door opener I really appreciated. And what I felt through all the discussions and how you approach me is like you have a deep dive, a structured selection, and you just approach people where you really think they can add value, where you really value the person. Yeah. So in that sense, that helped to have directly this link between each other in the first chat. So that's really well done.
Okay. I appreciate the positive feedback that and makes our job easy, Torsten. When I'm talking to people that that we share the kind of same values with, we share, and we get on really well. It makes the kind of the recruiter and the kind of the candidate relationship very really easy. So it's always nice to have someone like yourself to work with, Torsten, that kind of does really care and is also obviously a very strong candidate as well. So makes my job that much easier.
Thanks a lot.
So you've now joined Instagrid. So that happened in sort of the back end or the latter half of this year. Although we are coming towards 2023 now. So recording this is December 22. What has been your experience so far working for them and working in the green tech sector, working for Instagrid, compared to your previous experience working for much larger corporations?
So as you might realize already, like passion is one of my key drivers. And luckily in my whole career, I was always lucky to find passionate people, passionate about the product, the work they do, the aspects of their job or something like that. But going to Instagrid, and that's not a joke in wording, it's electricized with passion. Yeah. So literally whoever you meet, and right now they have in December 100 employees, you always meet people which are experts in their field and they have a passion to drive it. And they love what they do. They love to create impact. And every meeting, every chat electrolyzes you as a person. And not only gives you ideas, it sends a new spark, which nourishes your own passion and the purpose why you're here in the company. So I've been in brainstorming sessions, I've been in creative meetings, I have been facing overwhelming situations where I suddenly speak with software engineers, hardware engineers, or people who are like literally the experts in their field. But the passion they have for their job also means that they take the time to explain to me what their job is about. They explain to me in my words, we can have a session about that. So I understand what I need to do, where to go, and I understand how the puzzle pieces come together. And this passion is here one of the main drivers, which really enables me to work with amazing teams, amazing people, and get to know what is happening here. How does everything fit together? And this is really unmatched compared to the passion I have experienced before in bigger corporations. Yeah, it's really like experience, engagement, everything nourishes you. So the guiding principle of Instagrid, create impact together, is an overall mentality for everyone here in the company, and everybody's thriving and living that. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and for those people that are not familiar with Instagrid, so obviously the whole purpose of Instagrid is to help eradicate diesel and petrol powered generators or fossil fuel generators from off-grid I suppose setups like construction sites, TV and film events and things like that. So the fact that by replacing those with battery powered, electric powered devices to a green sustainable energy source for off-grid situations, there is this I feel it feels like it's easy to kind of to be motivated in a sense, because that for every one of those fossil fuel generators that you take off the market, we've got a clean electricity source coming in as well. So I feel that when you've got that emphasis and that purpose, it doesn't surprise me to hear that you say that how passionate people are about that.
Mm. Yeah, and you feel it, like the people, the private life they have, the topics they talk about, the topics they love to talk about. You really feel that this is one of the key drivers. Right now, Instagrid has one product, announced the second one during the Bauma this year. So there is more coming, more in the pipeline, but the engagement is outstanding from every person being at this company. Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, last question for you then for the kind of the impact series, Torsten, is and it's one about 4.0. So I suppose, look, what is it about, you know, the interactions you've had with 4.0, so you know that stands out perhaps compared to other staffing or other hiring companies that you've worked with in the past?
So what I experience is that client for 4.0 and candidate matter the same way. And it matters in a different way because you feel like personally approached. You have a first discussion where you don't talk about what will be the next job. You talk about what is the person about, what is the candidate about, what does the candidate wants to achieve privately, how does the mindset fit. There is a real deep discussion about what you as a person want to achieve. And then this will be matched to the client. And then you have the discussion on, well, who's the client? What is the job? Why do I think you will match? So it's a very good selection in the first step. And really, like, you feel like taking care of people, care about what you want, and hand you over to an employer, which is, in my case, a perfect match. Yeah. Yeah. So in that sense, this is something I really appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fundamental for us, is to kind of really take the time to understand what your drivers are, what motivates you, what you're hoping to kind of to gain from your career in your next move, so that we know that, is Instagrid or any other customer, are they actually going to be able to deliver that? Or, and also be very transparent. There'll be elements, 9 times out of 10, there's always a bit of a compromise. We might be ticking 7 or 8 boxes, but there might not be 1 or 2 boxes that are ticked. And for my job is to kind of make sure that we are very transparent and make sure people are aware of exactly what they're getting themselves into, rather than trying to sell the dream, and kind of paint over any cracks. So it's, but as I said, it's, when we're working with people like yourself, Torsten, it's always a pleasure. And it's, I think I knew probably from the first conversation we had that, that there was going to be a lot of interest, and that you'd probably receive an offer from the company, and that's exactly the way it worked out. So I'd like to thank you for participating in this first episode of the new series of the Impact series.
Before you cut off, I have another point. It's like what I really like as well is, like, you don't leave it by the candidate as such. We keep track, like after every conversation, we had a phone call, we talked about stuff, we talked about adjustment. You always wanted to make sure, is it still the thing you want? So if I could ever always tell you, hey, sorry, I'm wrong. So it was like a collaboration. That's what I really appreciated. And I talked in the beginning a lot about passion, and that's what I feel with you guys. And your claim is talents with purpose. This is literally what you feel. Your guys' passion is to find these talents, understand the purpose of the potential candidate, and match it to the client you have. So in that sense, sorry that I interrupted you. No. Just say goodbye, but I think it's very important to mention that when I work with you guys, and what I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, it's the feeling's mutual, Torsten, and but just picking up on that point, the kind of science behind that, is something that we've looked at as well, because we know that if we can place somebody that is driven by purpose, and someone that they have the same values and they match the values of the company they're joining, that's kind of where the magic happens. That's where we kind of get this magical engagement concept come from. And where if someone's engaged, they're going to typically enjoy their role more. They're going to have better levels of kind of health and well-being, which is great, obviously, for the individual. But for the company, that person's probably going to stay with them for longer, and they're going to be more engaged and more productive. So it really is a win-win situation for everyone. And that's the kind of, that's what we're striving for with everybody that we work with. So it's, but look, it's, and as I said, so again, once again, Torsten, just on this point, to thank you for participating in this first episode. I'm sure there'll be more, and it'll be good to catch up with you again in the future to see how, how the next 12 or 18 months of your journey has been. Perfect.
Anytime, welcome. And thanks back to you for giving me this opportunity. Many, many thanks.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.